Maybe it's a parent or grandparent you'd like to find, or even another family member you knew personally. With billions of records at your fingertips, Ancestry.com is the perfect place to start a search for historic records about your family. Begin your search with someone who lived in the early part of the 20th century, before 1930. Records from the 20th century are rich with details and can help you find parents, grandparents, siblings, occupation, and more. Input the person's first and last name. We'll search for historic records for notorious gangster John Dillinger, beginning with just the information we already know about him. Be as accurate as possible with the spelling, but don't worry if it's not perfect. When conducting a basic search, Ancestry.com also sorts through common misspellings, nicknames, and similar names. Adding more information will help Ancestry.com refine possible matches. We know John Dillinger lived in Indiana, so we'll add that to our search too. Including a birth year can also make a big difference in the accuracy of your search. If you're not certain, use the birth year calculator to make an educated guess. To estimate a birth year, think about how old your ancestor was during an important family event, like a wedding or graduation. We know that John Dillinger was in his early 30s when he died in 1934. Inputting this information gives us an estimated birth year of 1904. You can also add details about family members and important events in your ancestor's life. Then, when you're ready, hit search. Thousands of possible matches are returned in our search for John Dillinger, but not all of them will be the John Dillinger we're looking for. We'll find the closest matches on the first few pages of results. The first record is a 1930 census. Click on it to learn more. Scroll down the page for a list of basic facts about the person, including who else was living at the same residence on census day. Often these facts can help you determine if this is the ancestor you're seeking. You'll find even more details by clicking on the image of the document. For the 1930 census, that's the original census record. Note the location: Indiana State Prison. In 1930, John Dillinger was an inmate at this prison. We've found our man. On the record, we pick up a few more new facts. John is 26 years old in 1930. He was married 5 years earlier at age 21 and is currently divorced. He was born in Indiana, as were his parents. Now we can either return to the search results page to review the other possible matches, or we can edit our search to add some of the new information we discovered. First, input John's birth details. Then add another event, John's marriage, which we learned happened around 1925. We'll look for clues about John's marriage, which we find in the Indiana Marriage Collection. Clicking on the record gives us even more details, including an exact date for John's marriage, as well as John's precise birth date and the name of his spouse. Search tools at Ancestry.com also make it easy to go directly to specific record collections. Since we know John Dillinger was born, married, and incarcerated in Indiana, we'll focus our next search on records solely from that state. We'd like to learn more about events in John Dillinger's life before his marriage, so we'll look for a 1920 census record and fill in the blanks. We'll be searching for records that were created before John was married, so we can leave the information about his spouse blank. Only one possible match is a John Dillinger, born in Indiana. Remember, it's always a good idea to check other possible results to ensure you're looking at a match. This John Dillinger was living at home in 1920. In the house is John's father, also born in Indiana, which matches the information we found in the 1930 census. Clicking on the record image, we'll learn even more, including names and ages of the other household residents, their birthplaces, and the birthplaces of their parents. Take note of the details. They can all help you later when you search for earlier records. Ancestry.com also has tools that make it easy to jump directly to recently viewed record collections. Click on any collection title to start a brand new search through the same records. You can also quickly revisit a previous search. Let's say you've been doing a lot of searches for John Dillinger's family. The Recent Searches feature helps you keep track of the people you've looked for previously. Click on any name, and Ancestry.com will repeat the last search you made for that person. And if your search returns more possible matches than you have time to review, refine it by using a few advanced techniques. First, select Advanced Search. If you want only possible matches from historic documents, limit your search to just historic records. Or maybe you'd like to find out whose family tree shares some of your ancestors too. Remember, however, to turn the other categories back on before your next search, so you'll have access to all of the historic information at Ancestry.com. You may occasionally want to limit the name variations that Ancestry.com looks for. At those times, select only exact spellings or names that sound phonetically the same as your ancestors. But be sure to return to the default settings before you search again, so you don't limit your future searches too much. You can also search just specific records, like birth or marriage, or go straight to a collection, like the Ancestry.com Immigration and Travel Collection, where you can start a search and discover more information and search tips. There are so many great ways to search through the historic records at Ancestry.com. Experiment and try the various options available. You'll soon discover just how much you can learn at Ancestry.com. And watch as the lives of your ancestors unfold before you.